Hi guys, I'm bringing you an overall review on the bike. I know I've done reviews before, but I've just got back and I want to do quite a detailed review of the V85 for owners who have got them, potential owners, and yeah, those just love the bike. I'm actually back at my home place, Albury-Wodonga, the New South Wales-Victorian border in Australia, and it's fantastic. Probably one of the best on and off-road ridings in Australia. Tasmania is probably the best, but it's very wind dependent because it's cold down there a lot of the time. Right, okay. I've had this bike for 26,000 kilometres, 1.5 years. I've got about 6 months or so, maybe a bit less warranty left on it, new bike warranty. So what do I think of the bike? Okay, and why did I buy it? I bought it mainly for touring and long trips. And does it do that well? I think it does that brilliantly well. And I'll tell you why. I think the 4 biggest things that make this bike a touring weapon basically is the tank range, the shaft drive, the cruise control, and the seat is pretty comfortable. So that would be about the 4 things I would say that makes this a pretty good touring bike. I can get around 400 Ks on a tank. And I reckon it's really under accurate because when I filled the tank up before I came up here, I had 16 litres to top it up and said I still had 100 kilometres left. I'd get more than 100 kilometres, even say on 4 litres. So I think the tank's not exactly, the fuel gauge isn't 100% accurate. Most motorcycle gauges are not. I think I've only had one that's been dead accurate, and that was a Tiger 800, which was very too accurate. I ran out of fuel once. Touring, I think cruise control's fantastic for those long highway, freeway miles, outback roads in Australia. Good to give yourself a bit of a rest. Yeah, so I think cruise control's also just fantastic for that. The tank range, as I said, the shaft drive is brilliant. You don't have to worry about chain maintenance and all that sort of thing on a long trip, which is great. Carrying capacity is another one. The carrying capacity of these is great, which I'll go into in mods, what I've done. It's quite a strong frame and it can carry a lot of equipment in comfort. What else? I think having spoke wheels is a great thing. If you go down dirt roads, it's less chance you might dent a rim, but you won't break a rim. So I think the spoke rims is great. Having 170mm of travel on these is probably about the minimum you want for off-road. Any less than that is just not good enough. The V-Stroms are 160 and they're borderline not that well good. 150, no. So 170 is about the minimum you want for any off-road riding that's any more than a very smooth dirt road. And the nice upright riding position I think is fantastic. I've only had really one problem with this bike, which was the sonic wheel, something to do with the tuning, timing, and it's when I first got the bike at 1500 Ks, and that was fixed under warranty. Apparently it happened a lot with the early 2021 models. So that's all I can say is the only problem I've had with this bike. It's comfortable, it sounds good, it's basic. Another thing I like it's got a basic air-cooled engine. I mean, where else do you get an air-cooled touring bike with a shaft drive? You just don't. This is it. If that's what you want, this is it. So anyway, guys, my overall thoughts of the V85 is positive. I love the bike. I haven't had any issues with it, and I just think it's a great bike, and I'll probably be keeping this for some time to come. Okay, no worries. I'm going to go on to part 2 again. My part 2 will be what don't I like about the bike, and how you can easily fix these things. Okay, no worries. Bye.